बोलिए सतगुरु महाराज की
जय।
सच्चे दरबार की
Jai.
So we see that everything saints and sages did, there was always a purpose behind it. And it wasn't only limited to festivals, it was their lifestyle. Everything they conducted on a daily basis. Their lifestyle, the rituals they did, everything was conducive to their spiritual growth. And it's in every culture. Maybe some of you know that we're celebrating Lent. Does anyone know what Lent is?
That's fasting
Fasting.
before the resurrection of Jesus at Easter.
Okay. So 40 days leading up to Easter, 40 days are spent in fasting. Anyone know why 40?
Because Jesus was in the desert for 40 days.
Mm-hmm. So it takes 40 days for a seed to sprout. When you plant something in the ground, it takes 40 days for it to come through the ground. Lord Jesus spent 40 days in meditation to fight the demons that lied within him. And at the end of the 40 days, we celebrate Easter, which is also the celebration of the coming of spring, a new beginning. Holi celebrates the exact same thing, the coming of spring. In the fire sat Holika and Prahlad. But what came out of the fire? Just Prahlad. Prahlad represents our true eternal self. That ultimate bliss that lies within us. Holika represents our negative tendencies, everything that prevents us from connecting to our true self. The fire represents the awakening, the fire of Brahmgyan that is lit within us when we come into the shelter of a perfect master. And as you sit in this fire of Brahmgyan, you burn away the Holika within you. What remains is Prahlad. What remains is that eternal bliss. And it is then, in true essence, that we celebrate Holi, that we celebrate Easter. And it's celebrated with the throwing of color. Because as spring comes, all the flowers blossom. And these colors represent happiness, love, devotion, goodness. But when a disciple celebrates Holi, it's always different, right? Compared to the normal man, to what a disciple celebrates is always different. In the world, we throw color on each other, go around town, and then at the end of the day, take a shower and the festival's done. But a disciple says that, Lord, I want to be colored in your color. Something that cannot be washed away, but something that is part of my soul. I want to be colored in your love, in your devotion. And our scriptures say, Jinke rang rate tum swami janam maran dukh nasa. That the ones who are colored in the Lord, the biggest suffering of coming back on this earth over and over again is destroyed. the curse that Jaya and Vijaya got, the biggest curse that these saints could give them, was to come back on earth over and over again. But our scriptures say that one who is colored in the Lord, they're freed from the greatest suffering. They're freed from the cycle of birth and death. And Prahlad, this 5-year-old child, but withstood being thrown from a cliff, trying to be crushed by a mad elephant, trying to be killed in so many different ways. But he stood strong in every situation. His faith was unwavering. Not so much how our faith is these days. Let me share a story with you. In a little town, and almost many little towns have a little temple. So this one man one day is ringing the bell of the temple, is so happy, singing the praises of the Lord. And someone visiting asks, "Hey, what's the matter? You seem so happy today." He says, "My son graduated and he wasn't finding a job. So I came and I said a prayer for him. And that evening, he received notice that he has a job. So I want to tell everybody that God exists and he listens to prayers." And he was distributing sweets in the whole town, so people enjoyed them. Few days later, that same man is found outside the temple telling people, "Don't go in, don't worship God, there is no God." And the same man asks him, "What happened today?" And he says, "My wife was really, really ill. And we had to go see the doctor today. And I came and said a prayer to God to help cure my wife. But when we went to the doctor today, he told us her situation has worsened." So I'm saying there is no God. He doesn't listen to prayers. Such is our faith today too. When things go our way, then God exists. We sing his praises. But the minute there's an adversity, the minute there is a difficult situation, we start asking, "Hey God, where are you? Why are you testing me? Why are you putting me through this?" We're tested in school because teachers want to know where we stand. A guru already knows where you stand. He doesn't need to test you. He doesn't come to test us. He already knows us. He already knows where we stand. But he comes to help us in those situations, to evolve us into something greater, to make us more beautiful. He sits with us in that fire to burn away our holikas. He doesn't come to try us or test our faith. He doesn't need to. But because of our karma, because of whatever we've done, we are put in situations. But he comes to take us through those situations. But why does that faith waver? Why do we question God? Why do we forget that He's with us in our good times and bad? Because we are disconnected from God. We don't have a connection with God, so how are we going to recognize that He's with us all the time? But if we spend time building that relationship with God, if we spend time connecting to our soul within, we would recognize why we're put in each situation. We would be aware of each adversity and why it's come our way. What is God trying to shape us to become? What is He trying to teach us in a particular situation? As we build that connection, we'll be aware that He's present with us all the time. He never leaves. That one companion who's with us for lifetimes, who's with us the minute the soul embarked on this journey, and will be with us till we merge back. Sri Ashutosh Marji has awakened that fire within for those who have Brahmgyan. And as we sit in meditation, as we practice, little by little, this holikas within us start to burn. And it's not always pleasant. It's not always a pleasant experience. But He sits with us to enable that as we release this holika, we're taken care of. We're still protected. He is still by our side as we burn away this negativity. Because He wants to make pralads out of all of us. He wants us to live in ultimate bliss. The word prahlad means bliss, extreme bliss. There is a prahlad within each and every one of us. If we surrender to Him, this shaping process becomes so much easier than if we try and fight it. And as we burn away these holikas, the colors of love, devotion, faith, compassion will naturally start to flow from within us. Will naturally start to reflect in our character. Will reflect in our actions and words. So we don't have to dedicate one day to forgive the people we're upset with. But we don't even get upset in the first place. This is the one day even enemies hug each other and say, we're sorry, or you're forgiven. But for a devotee colored in the love of God, there are no enemies. They see everyone as one. And it's only when we see everyone as a part of ourselves that we will have no jealousy, no envy, no ego that separates us from others. and will be truly able to live in bliss. So as spring is coming, remind yourself that the spring within needs to come as well. The flowers within need to blossom as well. So spend time, spend effort in burning away your holikas, in burning away your weaknesses. The saints and sages laid the path out for us. Jesus Christ said, meditate. He sat for 40 days to overcome his demons, his weaknesses, so that he could be an instrument of God. He showed us the path. We just have to follow the same path. So as the spring comes, let it not just be like any spring that comes every year. Spend the next few weeks working away on your weaknesses. And let the beautiful colors of love and compassion shine forth from within.